The #1 IEM from all famous reviewers. Yes. Today we have choices from Resolve, Precog, HBB, Crinacle, Super Reviews, Josh, DMS, Theos, and myself. Not that I'm famous or anything, just wanted to include myself with, you know. Hey friends, welcome back to another video on Thieaudio, and first of all, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to every viewers, new and old, that are watching this video right now. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you're having the best holiday season ever. You see the fireplace in the background here, nice and warm, toasty. Also, I'm wearing green and my hair is red. It's all Christmassy colors, all good vibes here today. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the #1 IEMs from all the reviewers that I just mentioned, but not only #1. I decided to add some of their other favorite ones in this video as well, if I can find them. Now, in preparation for this video, I did a lot of research, watched a ton of videos on each of their channels, read their reviews, and also message them in person to see if they'll give me a response. All of the research is, of course, to get the most accurate results for this video as possible. And now, without further ado, that long intro aside, let's finally jump into the giveaway. Yes, there's a Christmas giveaway for the Thieaudio Catmas. Yes, a $200 cable with interchangeable terminations and connector capabilities. Yes, if you want to enter the giveaway, link to enter is down below. Of course, leave a comment as well on what your current favorite cable or accessory is. I'd love to know. And with all that being said, finally now, let's jump into the actual video, starting with HBB. Chris from Bad Guy Good Audio Reviews, or HBB for short, has some favorites over the years. The first one that I remember was the Unique Melody MES Mark II. Now, I used to own the MES Mark II. I since traded it for a QTC Gemini. At the time that I had it, I remember it being very pleasing. Like, there's not much to fault about it, but also at the same time, it doesn't quite have that wow factor for me. But if you're a fan of more bassy signature, laid back presentation, non-aggressive, then the MES Mark II is probably one of the first IEM I would recommend you if you're looking for endgame, that is. Fast forward a bit, you see Chris putting Elysian X as his #1. I had the honor to try the exact unit, and I gotta say, it's really good. The bass profile on the Elysian X is probably my favorite out of all Elysian products so far. Very sad it's discontinued. I really do hope they bring it back someday. I still prefer the Annihilator for me personally. I love the treble on the Annihilator, but the bass profile, the X wins. And last but not least, his current #1 set, the Fat Freak Maestro SE. It sounds like something that he would love. It is a bassy IEM, as most Fat Freak in this lineup is. The vocals are more in the background, which is really not to my personal preference, but if you care a lot about bass, you're a bass head, then this is probably the most bass head of all bass head IEMs. If you're one of those, you should give the Maestro SE, Maestro Mini, and the rest of the lineup a try. You might really enjoy this brand. Now, the one thing I do really like about the SE and the Mini is that even though they're bass cannon, like the biggest bass cannon I've ever heard, they're still very correct in the upper mids and treble area. Vocal timbres especially sound natural. Even though they're in the background, they sound realistic. There's no oddities in their voice, and that's something that's really rare in IEMs that is bass heavy. So yes, Maestro SE, check it out if you're a bass head, and let's move on to the next reviewer. Next reviewer, we have Precogvision, or Precog for short. Now, he's known for one IEM in particular for a very long time, and that is the 64Audio U12T. This thing has been his baby for as long as I've read his content or have known him. The U12T is an overall good IEM. I can see why a lot of people love this kind of signature. It's neutral with a bass boost, but neutral in a sense where it's not very aggressive or forward in the vocals, especially in the upper mid range. It's tuned rather relaxed and laid back. The U12T has a kind of inoffensiveness to it that makes it a very versatile signature that can play a lot of genres pretty decently. The bass is also satisfying for a full BA unit. My biggest criticism of it is that it's just not engaging. It's the inoffensive nature of the U12T that keeps me from using it or recommending it very heavy, because I personally like my music to be a little bit more engaging and my vocals more in my face. The U12T is just a little bit too referencey, you can say. Too laid back, too inoffensive. Aside from that, I can't fault it much. Some of the other sets he loved includes the Elysian Diva. He actually loves the Diva so much that he waited, I think, 5 to 6 months for his IEM unit. Now that's real love. As someone who's been in long distance relationship before, waiting for someone for 5 to 6 months takes real gut love. So props to Precog for sticking it through. Thieaudio. Diva is awesome though, and well worth the wait. Now, you guys might have noticed there's another IEM in his ranking list. This one right here, Subtonic Storm. I've not tried it myself. I will in March, so right now I can't say too much. Next D-list celebrity we have from the same headphone show team, Mr. Resolve. And his favorite IEM, he actually answered me in DMs, thank you so much, it's also the U12T. He likes the more relaxed Pina, not as aggressive upper mid-range, and also the technical performance of the U12T overall. His other favorite IEMs follow a similar pattern when it comes to the upper mid-range, the SA6 and also the SA6 Ultra. He's not a big fan of the aggressive upper mid-range like the Variations or the Crinacle Truthears 0. He much preferred them to be more laid back like the SA6 Twins, and I think he also likes the Oracle as well. All of those IEMs are great, of course. I love the Oracle, you guys know that. I love the original SA6, and also, of course, the SA6 Ultra is my S-tier IEM that is under $1,000. All those IEMs are easy purchase for anybody. They're all versatile, play any genre really well, and coincidentally, I just realized this just now, all of those IEMs offer a different flavor of neutral. The Oracle, the SA6 Twins, and also U12T, they're all neutrally tuned IEMs, but different flavor of neutral. All great though. This next dude needs no introduction. He is Mr. Crinacle, boss man, I like to call him. His favorite IEM of all time, well, his #1 ranked IEM on his ranking list is the Thieaudio Monarch MK2. And I love the Monarch MK2. It is S tier for me. Very neutral IEM with a really nice clean bass boost and a timbre that is as natural as they come. Very few IEMs have timbre as natural sounding as the Monarch MK2. Another IEM that he loves a lot that's actually not in his S tier is the Edition Viento B tuning custom form. And yes, there are differences between the custom and the universal version. The custom is much more smoother in the treble. The universal is a little bit more spicy. I do have the universal of the Viento B with me, and it is gorgeous. Really lives up to all the legends that surrounds this elusive IEM. It is tuned so well, and for me, sounds the most speaker-like of any IEM that I've tried. I don't think there's another IEM that sounds as cohesive and as clean as the Viento B. It's just, oh, gorgeous. He also loved the Sony IER-Z1R, the bass god, and it is still for me the bass. Actually, no, there's one IEM that dethrones the Z1R, but it's still in prototype. I can't really talk about it yet, but that aside, the Z1R right now on the market is still bass king. Bottom line is, if you love bass, Z1R is your leaving the hobby IEM. It's the end game you need to try. Next reviewer is Super Reviews, the man himself, the man behind the Squig site, and he loves the EJ07M Kinda Lava. I got this information from asking him in one of his live stream, and he said it was the Kinda Lava. This one for me is tuned somewhat similar to the Monarch MK2. The Monarch MK2 has more bass from what I remember, but the Kinda Lava has that similar natural feeling timbre, though not as smooth as the Monarch MK2 for me. It comes at half the price of the Monarch MK2, so value for money, Kinda Lava all the way. If you can still find it, grab yourself a unit. It might be all gone now though. The next and last three guys, we have the mainstream reviewers. We have Thieaudio, Josh, and DMS. A lot of you guys entering the hobby probably know of them first, including myself. I discovered them first before I discover the rest of the community. Now let's start off with Thieaudio. Now Thieaudio likes a lot of things. Really hard to pinpoint his absolute favorite IEM, but I'm gonna recall back to the olden days where he used to praise the Nan Nan 2 the highest. Now the Nan Nan 2 is very smooth, pleasing signature, just super expensive. That's really the only con I have for it, is the price is way too high for what you get, especially nowadays in today's very competitive market. That doesn't discount the Nan Nan 2 for being a good, smooth sounding IEM. It's just expensive. Now with DMS, he also likes the Nan Nan 2 for much of the same reason. He says that it's smooth, easy to listen to, and also the form factor, the comfort, is a priority for him as well, which the Nan Nan 2 delivers for him. So that leaves the last person in this video, Josh, from Josh Valour. Now his number one IEM is very up in the air. If you look in his description, sometimes you see the Fur M5, the Odin being at number 2, and right now currently you see the IE300 being at number 1. Now I did watch his IE300 video and it didn't seem like he praised it all too much, and at the end of the video he also said that he wouldn't recommend it as a number 1 for any given price range as well. So I'm very confused on what his actual number 1 is. I'm gonna take the Fur M5 and the Odin as opposed to the IE300 because I feel like those makes more sense. The Fur M5 is a warmer tuning IEM. I've not tried it myself, so I can't speak too much on it, but a lot of people seem to like it. The Odin, on the other hand, I can speak on. The Odin is great. Fantastic IEM. Again, with the price, of course, $3,000 something, that's always gonna be way too much. But if you spend that kind of money and you expect end game level performance, then you're really not going to be disappointed with the Odin, especially if you love bass. The bass on the Odin is one of the most satisfying sounding bass ever. And besides the bass, the Odin also has quite nice forward vocal presentation as well. And of course, good levels of details. All right, that is it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. What? Oh, forgot to talk about myself. Well, this video is already running very long, so I'm gonna save my parts and my favorites for tomorrow's video where I talk about the best IEM at every price range instead. That's a more complete video and a better place to talk about my favorites anyways. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, stay tuned for tomorrow's video, and again, Merry Christmas. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Bye.